Alright guys, welcome back. So let's take a look at what we have. We have the shows model, and we have our laces, and the laces are looking, I think, okay. But we do have some of the area that is embedded inside of the model, and that's reasonable because we make a simpler model and we don't really see the laces threading through it. Now if we wanted to, we can just basically very easily, if we want to fix that, let's just grab these guys, right? Let me show the low res. Okay. Right, I can drag this guy over here. I can grab all the faces here. I just also do an extrusion, just push them in. So we do see the laces. Right. As here simply just don't really rely on the triangle anymore. Delete that. And that we do a multi-cut, connect that to that, and connect that to that. Okay, and then we drag this in and drag it, make it bigger. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we may have some baking issue here. When we bake it, we may not have the actual metal part to be the same as where these guys are because it's different. You can see here, right? But we can tweak them later on and just drag things around to match them eventually. Okay, or we can also do this after we bake it, right? We can tweak the lace. The lace is also tweakable, right? We can just match them eventually in some way, one way or another, right? So just don't worry about that yet. Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about the UV of this guy. So the UV is a UV planar projection to project it. Okay, and we can go for UV editing. Okay, and then we just go for UV and 3D cut and sew to. One thing I want to cut off is this guy here. Okay. And then I can grab this, okay, and drag it out. All right, and I can also, you know what? Maybe I can keep them all together. I think I can just cut that instead. Yeah, that's right. So I can go 3D cut and sew tools. Holding down Control and double click to disable that. I just need to cut this. Click and drag, or holding Control, click and drag to erase that. Sometimes it doesn't go. Just go a little bit further. Yeah, it's not that easy sometimes. I can also just select those lines. Select those lines and do my own cut anyways. It's basically doing the same thing. So maybe also that. Alright, cool. Let me get it out here actually. We can sew it back if we wanted to, but for now, after cutting, it's just easier to see what's going on. Right, so that's the base, unfolded. And for the rest of the show, I can cut through the back. Okay. Now, depending on what kind of game you're making, if your game is gonna see the character from the back more often, then maybe you don't cut it from back, you cut it from the front. Like maybe some hidden lines inside, right? Got it. Okay, let me try to unfold this guy. Okay, so this is what we have. And let's take a look at the UV. We do have some stretching over here, and that's of course would happen because we do have a concave area, and that has to be represented like this. Okay, so we can cut this guy off. Let's see. So from here, let me turn on that to there. Go to this edge, keep on going. and go into there and goes back. But many of the modeling modern modern texturing package actually has a pretty good way of getting rid of seams, so you don't really have to worry too much about seams. Okay, all right, let me cut that. Okay, and then try to unfold this guy one more time. Okay, and let's see, and we're having so much lesser stretching, except this guy, because I didn't cut it correctly over here. Let me Control Z to go back. So instead of cutting this line, I probably need to cut. So instead of cutting this line, I think cutting this line is actually what I need, or at least cut through here. Right, we're cutting through the surface of the outer layer of the bending area, right? Okay, cut it. Yeah, and then do a unfold, optimize. Okay, same thing here, unfold and optimize. Let's take a look at the stretching. You can see now it's much happier. It's almost like flat. The front is having some stretching, but I think it's not that bad, so I think it's gonna be okay. Alright, so now we have the UV of the show. If we wanted to, we can sew something back like this guy, or the front maybe can be just sewed back, and so that it's just one piece, right? Yeah, they're not touching. It's good. You can also just sew that. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, so that's just one piece of UV. if you want to keep them together. Okay. Anyway, so I don't think we have to. So just want to show you that we can sew those together, but I think maybe not sew those together. I don't really see that much common. If you want to get rid of the stretching here, we just cut one line open right here maybe. And then we can unfold, and you can see it does a better job. And that's gonna give you the best non-stretching result. Okay. Anyway, I don't think this is gonna make a lot of difference, so we're just gonna go with this for now. Alright, cool. So eventually we kind of wanted to organize our UV, right? So they're not like all in different places. This entire thing can be just one UV set. So what I can do is just combine everything together. Grab the UVs, we can do a layout and layout UVs. Now here I want to be a little bit more serious. One thing I wanted to do is I want to make sure that the texture has the correct size, I mean when it's unfolding or laying out. So I'm gonna go for 2K, and the shell padding will be the distance is to try to do to keep between two different UVs. Okay, so two different UV shells. So like I'm gonna go for 10 pixel because the unit is pixel. Padding of the tail is going to be the edge. The distance from any shell to the edge has to be bigger than 10. And then we can also check rotate shells and tell it to be able to try to rotate the shells. I can try to do 15 degrees. So it's going to try to match them, but also try every 15 degrees, iterate through all the possible ways and see if there is a best way to utilize the UV space. Okay, and you can apply that. Be aware that this may take a long time, so save your file and then apply. Okay. So what's really time consuming is that rotation shell. Okay, so you want to, at 15 is the lowest I would go. Okay, you can see you're getting this. Now sometimes you may think, okay, that looks maybe not utilizing all these guys, right? That's probably correct, but this is computer calculated, and it may have a reason to actually do this. So I think it's what it's trying to do, and I don't know why I have another lens actually cut it. I don't need that, so let me fix that first. Double click to select that and deselect the lens, the ones on the front. Okay, so these back together, and also another line here that I don't really care to cut. Okay, yeah, that's what I want. So you may think, okay, this is may not using the entire space, and you could be right, but it's also could be saying, okay, this is probably the best you can do, and it's gonna give you all those spaces to fill other things in. Okay. Anyway, nonetheless, we just have all these, so maybe I can try to manually do it and make things bigger myself, and then I can just reposition these guys, see if I can find a better solution myself. Not sure why this one is open. I don't want that either. So that together, redo it, unfold, and optimize. Also, the orientation of the UV can actually play some important role, because especially when you're placing a repetitive pattern that you want it to be straight, or you want it to be horizontal or vertical kind of thing, then you can try to make the corresponding pieces to be having the same orientation. That way they will be able to have the same result. Okay. Yeah, I could actually enhance it by scaling things up. And that can fit in there. Okay. And these guys can be here. And also, the more cut you do, the better it's going to be able to fit in those smaller gaps, because you have smaller pieces instead of big pieces, right? Okay, so oftentimes when you're doing a real character, the foot will not be taking all the UV space. There will be other things, like the entire garment can be one UV set, the body can be another. So it's rare to have the entire show to take one UV set. I think I can still try to make them just a bit bigger while still keeping it inside of the U1v1 space. Have some empty area there. I guess it's fine, right? I don't really have any inefficient UV distribution here. It's 2K for a show, right? It should be fine. I can scale it up to for 4K just for the demonstration purposes to get the best quality resolution wise. Alright, so now we have the show, we have the topology, we have the UV, and we have the high-res model, right? I think now is the time we prepare our model for baking and texturing. Okay, see you next time.